So all my friends and family have canceled the holiday gatherings this year. Nobody's getting together. That means I'm going to be home alone, unscheduled all day long. What am I going to do about this? How do I handle this? I'm going to use Edward de Bono's Six Thinking Hat as a tool. I'm going to take a few minutes to think about what I would do in my unscheduled day alone, wearing each of these six colored hats, and then I'll decide later. After I gather all of these different perspectives, I'll decide what I'm going to do with my day. So, first, I'm going to pretend I'm putting on my blue hat. That's my controller's hat. I'm good at that. And the blue hat helps really look at the process. So here's what I'm doing. I'm looking at my decision. My decision is, what will I do with unscheduled time alone after I am used to being with a lot of people that I love on the holidays, but this year it's not. It's going to be different. So now I'm going to ask my friends to put on their different colored hats. And then I'll make that decision after I gather all these different viewpoints. So let's start with Michelle. Michelle, would you please put on the black hat? The black hat would be thinking of all the bad that could happen. That would be the negative thoughts. Tell me what you would do.
Well, it's probably going to be a cold, possibly rainy day. I would probably spend quite a few hours on social media. I would probably spend a few more hours watching TV. I'd probably eat the whole pie that I baked for the gathering because I don't have anyone to share it with. That's what
Mhm.
I do.
Thank you. Now, Sam, would you put on the white hat? If you were wearing the white hat, you would be thinking just the facts of what you would do. What would you do, Sam?
Well, we don't have many facts. This hasn't happened before, so there's not a whole lot of data. But as far as what I would do is just try and make the best of it and figure out what I'm going to have to eat and where it's going to come from.
That's pretty simple. Well, Glenn, if you would put on the red hat, you'd be thinking about the emotions, how it feels. What would you do?
Well, yeah, I think this is all about emotions, really. If we can solve the emotional side of it, I think we're home free. And I'm kind of assuming that there's going to be a Zoom thing or some phone calls. What I would have you do is just get the best meal you can and talk on the phone or whatever. And then after it's all over, I would have you sit down and write a letter of thanks and gratitude to each of the people that would normally be with. And it would be just as simple as in counting my blessings, Aunt Vivian, I was thinking about the many times I spent with you, and do a letter like that, just a short one, send it out, and they'll get it 4 days from now. And it'll be a reminder that it was a different Thanksgiving, but it might be that 2020 is the year they remember because of those notes. Or the other thing you might do is have everybody have a picture that they can show, and then just one picture, and just talk about that a little bit and kind of introduce emotion back into it, even though you don't really have it.
Okay. Jerry, if you put on your green hat, the green hat's about devising creative solutions. What would you do, Jerry?
The ultimate time to be creative is when there's nothing to do. Boredom has created so many of the great ideas and art and things in our society. However, we've quite had enough of boredom, haven't we? So maybe the idea with the green hat is just a new idea, something that hasn't been done before. And it's possible to imagine one before that day happens. Maybe, what have you never done on Thanksgiving? It's not like you can go visit anybody. It's like you've gone for plenty of walks. It's maybe you can crack that book on your shelf that you've never looked at before and spend some time with it. And maybe that will spur the next thing. Maybe you just need to roll some dice because that is maybe what will open up possibilities.
I like this. Monica, if you wore the yellow hat, well, then you'd just always be thinking optimistically, positive thoughts. Would you put on the yellow hat and tell me what you would do?
I would try to get everyone together on Zoom at least for a little bit, just so we can touch base and maybe have like dessert or some coffee or something, and just all be able to enjoy each other still. I would actually have a pajama day. No one ever gets pajama days. And just be able to have fun by myself. Maybe try new recipes that the next year when we all get together, I find something that's super good and I can introduce to my family and friends. Or maybe binge watch holiday movies.
Good. Very good.
Right. These are all great ideas. So now I'm thinking about this day from all these different perspectives. Now I can make a good decision on what I really want to do with my day. So when I stay home, I just know I'm going to be fine. I'm determined. I am never going to have a wasted day. No, I'm going to choose what I do. I'm going to choose what I think about, and I'm going to decide how I'm going to feel.